I had a question for you that first question, did you really not know that this was for money, or that's just like the playoff?
I didn't know that this was for money. I do remember there being mention. I'd forgot. I do remember hearing that it was for money, but I have forgot since then. But that makes me look dumb, which is perfect because that's what I'm trying to play as right now.
Are you nervous for the Survivor Week? Do you think you'll receive any votes this tribal council?
Nope. I think it's going to be. We're going to pull. The plan is for myself. I believe Timmy G is the other Timmy. Um, Whatever the one that's not
The
that
one that
the
just came back?
yes. Lily, Jay, and Ruthie are all supposed to be voting Brian off tonight. As well as I now have a final three called the Trio of Terror with myself, Jay, and Ruthie, which is my first real alliance in the game. I feel like this five deal with Lily and Timmy is more of a voting block.
Or do you
Um,
feel good with that trio of terror? Like, do you want to go to the final three with them ideally?
Here's the only thing about that: Ruthie's very well liked, and so is Jay. And I think Jay could get the one up on me in this scenario, which I don't love. But it's like, who else am I gonna sit next to? Maybe Seb. I kind of want to drag Seb for as long as I possibly can.
Do you
Uh,
think you can beat Seb at the end potentially?
I feel like he's probably the only person that I can beat at the end, or one of the only people that I can beat at the end. Jay and Ruthie are probably the only people who are even close. So
Well, even if you make second place, it's still $20 in your pocket.
fine by me. I do think that I have a good setup though now to get to the end of the game because after this blindside on Brian, I won't have to deal with Brian. The Timmys are going to come after each other again, so that's like 2 weeks where I don't have to do shit. And then it's like the biggest threat in the game is like Lily, and then Seb is just kind of there.
So, do you think Lily's gonna play her idol tonight, or do you think she'll save it for next round? Because if she doesn't use it, it'll go back to her advantage that she doesn't play. I mean, that will be for Big Brother.
I do think that she'll keep it tonight. I don't see any point in playing it when she can trust that she has. I think she can trust that she has the votes. She seems to trust me a good bit. She seems to trust obviously Timmy. Um, I don't know if she trusts Jay and Ruthie, and that's probably going to be why she decides whether or not to play the idol or not. But I
So,
guess we'll see.
what was the reason she put you on the block against Brian last week?
So she thought that I was the one that threw the vote, which I did. Um, Throw the vote. I basically got chips sent out the door last week, which I'm really happy about because I guess Chips had got. She didn't talk to me before her nominations much. She only messaged me like once or twice. And Lily usually messages me a lot. She's actually a person that I talk to a good bit. Probably have one of the better social games with. And then I'm on the block against Brian, and I'm wondering why Timmy L is not on the block against Brian. I find out later that her and Timmy L had a deal, which I kind of already speculated with Jay, but that's whatever. Um, so then immediately after she nominates me, I make her feel bad by saying that I obviously couldn't have done it because I wanted to come after Gizmo for putting me on the block week one, which no, but I said that and she believed me. And so then I convinced her that it was Chips by using Seb and Jay, conversations with each of them, to convince her that Chips was the one that threw the vote, got Chips put up on the block next to me when the veto was used on Brian, and got the votes to get Chips out the door, which I'm assuming Ruthie threw Chips a sympathy vote, which is fine, I guess.
Okay. So, granted, provided you survive this week, are you gonna try for that final seven HOH?
I'm unsure if I'm going to try for this next HOH. Now, Final Six, definitely. But the Timmys are going to come after each other. I don't see any reason to win the HOH. Veto? Yeah. But HOH, mm, if it's a challenge that I can win, I'm not going to throw it because I don't have a challenge win at this point. But if it's a challenge that I don't think I'm going to do well at, I probably will throw it. I'm unaware. I'm unsure if I'm going to throw it or not. It just kind of depends.
Okay. You'll play it by ear, is what I'm getting. So,
Pretty much, yeah.
who would you consider like your top two allies at the moment?
Definitely Jay is my number one ally. Um,
Do you think he
Jay,
reciprocates the loyalty that you have to him, or
I don't think I'm his number one per se, but I do think I'm up there for him. I think he thinks he can beat me, in the end. Which, yeah, I think Jay could beat me in the end as well. But Jay and I have had a history that goes on for about 2 or so years. So like, Jay and I are just good friends.
so you wouldn't mind losing to him? Is what I'm hearing. Is that correct?
I wouldn't mind what.
You wouldn't mind losing to him? Is what I'm hearing.
Oh
Is that
no, I
correct?
would mind losing to him. I don't want to lose to him, which is why I'm thinking of turning on him around the final four if I can. But the thing is, I need to be in the position. The only good thing about it is I can beat Jay at a lot of different competitions. Now, last night I was not in a position to win that competition. I could have won because I knew all the constitutional law ones that I didn't buzz in for, of course, or that I because I was doing it all on my phone. If I had my computer, I could have
Busting
rocked.
quicker.
Yeah, I could have buzzed in quicker and gotten a lot of those questions that I simply didn't know. And the other thing was like I would send buzz as soon as I knew the answer, and it would appear in the next round. So then like I would be the first one to buzz in the next round, and I look stupid because like I'm buzzing, but like I was trying to buzz in the last round, and it was just
So, provided your plan goes through this week and Brian does go home, is there anyone you feel that would nominate you next week for either as the pawn or the target?
maybe if Seb won, Seb would feel. Wait, can Seb and Timmy
They
win?
can compete since they
They
weren't
can.
like yeah they can. It's like going to be everyone competing in the HOH.
Okay, they can. Okay. Then maybe Seb. I feel like Timmy would go after the other Timmy and Lily. Seb may nominate me, and like I don't think so. I don't think Seb would be that bitter. I think Seb knows that Timmy and Lily are bigger targets than I am. I don't think he's that dumb. Um, Jay's not nominating me next week. I'm not nominating me next week. I don't think Ruthie nominates me next week. I think she does Timmy and Seb. I also think that Timmy and Lily both do Timmy and Seb. So I don't see a scenario where I go up next week, except maybe as a renom if a veto is used or something.
Okay, it's valid. Are you starting to think on like ways like about the? You're starting to think about the jury and like ways to put them on the jury without them being too super mad at you.
I would like to do more of stuff that like what I did with chips because I feel like that was a sly move that I did that no one really noticed or even talked about that I did. Um, Granted, I had to make Lily believe me, and right now she still believes me that I did not vote her out, so like I can't really take credit for it.
So you didn't tell anybody that you voted to evict Lily that in the live night,
Nope, no one knows. Everyone
and,
thinks that I voted to evict Gizmo.
and you're not planning on telling anybody at any point.
And what? Sorry.
Or you're not planning on telling anybody at any point.
I mean, if I make the final two, I do, but
Oh,
before then, I don't. No. I was gonna have that in my like jury speech if I make it to the end of the game.
okay. What do you think on a scale of like 1 to 100? Give me a percentage for your chances that you think you make it to the end of this game, to the final two.
So the final two, oh, it would require certain people doing certain things, but I would say I think people view me as a goat, someone that they can just like carry along, whatever. So I think that I think I have like a probably like a 10 to 20% shot, maybe 15, at making it to the final two with somebody. I think I could beat Ruthie and Jay in comps if that's the final three that I'm going with. I would love that final three because I think I could win final HOH.
Okay, well that's valid. Um, I gotta get to my tribal soon, but I don't want to rush
Yeah.
you. Is there anything else you want to say in this DR?
That's pretty much all I wanted to say, and I know you got places to be, so I'm gonna let you get to those places. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I had to say. I think I'm in a, for once in this game, I feel like I'm in a good position. Now, that's probably the sign that I'm in a bad position, but I'm gonna roll with it for as long as possible, and I think that I can. I hope that I can win this game. I think that I can make finals in this game, and that's what I'm going to attempt to do.
I mean, finals is good. That's even if you get second, like I said, $20. So or and you still get a chance to make that 40. But on that note, I will stop recording. Thank you for doing this, DR Alex.